enough paw cleaning, you. Hiya. Just wait for a few more of you to join, then I'll do some spirit portraits live. How's everyone this evening? Hiya Justine, hiya Jamie, hiya Anthony. Louise. So has anyone done anything interesting today while being at home? Yeah, not bad. We've just been working, trying to educate the kids. So multiple roles. So everyone else becomes school teacher as well then, for his last few weeks. Hiya Claire, hiya Ash. Hiya Carrie. Try for a few more of you to join. Made a cheesecake. Oh, I like cheesecake. Made me hungry. So would any of you like me to try and, or get Spirit to try and concentrate on spirits around you? Please put a yes please in the comment and I'll try and get Spirit to start focusing. Hiya Carly. If you would like me to try and, or get Spirit to try and concentrate on you, put a yes please and we'll go from there. I will start in a second. Right. Let me turn this round so you can see what I'm drawing. So you've got the dog's bum there as well. She decided to come and sit next to me. Here we go then, we're okay. Right, here we go. Right. So if anyone recognises, try and get it into a better light. If anyone recognises, please do let me know. Let me look at the comments. Hi to all of you. Go back a little bit. There's quite a few comments, right. We'll go towards the end of them then. Thanks, so let me show the picture again as more of you have just started joining. That's me as I'm looking at it, reflecting back at me from the screen, but school teacher's what's going to come. I do think he'd probably look younger than he actually was. Obviously we'll post them up anyway afterwards, but if anyone does think they recognise, please either comment on here or send me a message. Carly, it doesn't necessarily mean that the age that they passed. So if there's a photo in a house of him looking similar to this, they often represent themselves as a photo rather than the age they necessarily passed, especially as they prefer to know themselves as younger than they kind of passed, maybe in their, what they'd call more in their prime than in its deteriorated state. So it depends. And maybe a photo or something around. Because I've just read your comment, I know I'm kind of drawn to you with him. Especially as the point I started drawing actually was when I saw your comment, I just had to grab the pencil. Because as soon as you mentioned chubby cheeks, I didn't always have chubby cheeks, if that makes sense. Okay, cheers, Carrie. I will go through those. The hair in the middle, I'd have said, is definitely right, because he started at the top of his head. So if they did have more hair in the middle, then I'd have said it's probably not them. Okay, it doesn't necessarily need a photo of yours. It could be a photo in your nan's house or anything like that. But please do send us a photo. But I know I was drawn to you as I started to draw. Thank you, Siobhan. Anyway, as I was planning on not being on too long tonight because I've worked all day, but I felt like I wanted to draw some more. Let me show it one more time and then I'll move on to starting to draw another one. I've got a female around me. Oops. And it is one from the other night, again, that didn't end up getting drawn. Right. What's the date today? The 19th. Right. Hiya. Right, let me go on to another one. And I've got a female around me at the minute. which hopefully stays as I'm pulling the camera down for you to see what I'm drawing. Right. Let's start with. move it back. Right. If anyone recognises, please let me know. I'll try and make it. Look at the comments. It is a German Shepherd. Stormy, do you want to come and say hello? Come here. Come here. Good girl. Come here. Come on then. Cuddle, come and say hello. Come on then, Biggie. No, she's not going to say hello, I'll have to move it. There you go, Stormy. Storm. Good girl. People spotted you were there. Good girl. Hi, all of you, right? They are a great breed, the German Shepherds. Okay. In actual fact, if anyone's interested, that's actually what, in spirit, that is probably more like my gatekeeper. The spirit that would keep me safe is a shepherd, German Shepherd. Okay. She passed away quite young, but she stepped forward to kind of look after protection and whatever for me. So that's one of the spirits that I work with every day when I'm doing readings or doing things like this that look after me. As I'm drawing, Sean, literally I step more back in myself. It's not like me doing a reading. Okay, in a reading, then I'd probably bounce backwards and forwards between the art and passing information. Literally, when it comes to doing it like this, I literally step back and let spirit step forward, so they're using my arms. It's not me drawing. If you saw my drawings, you'd understand that I cannot draw. I'd be the loser at Pictionary every single time. I literally, not one of my skills, which is why I know when portraits are coming, it is not from me. So as I step back in instances like this, as soon as I finish drawing, they step away from me. They do stay around, because then when they're recognised, I do pass messages. They know how I work. So I pass messages privately on Messenger, which can keep them more personal once spirit are recognised. So I guess they honour the way that I work. So at the moment they step back, I don't really get a lot. I do get more than afterwards. I know it's not necessarily the same as every other medium, but I guess I've never really said that I'm like others. I work my own way, even in readings. And they honour what I do, and this is more free time to me now and doing something for others. So like I said, I do then pass on the messages, but once they're recognised, so they know to step back and then let other spirits start stepping forward in order to be drawn as well, or to step into my energy. So they come and sort of share my energy, which is a mild form of possession. She's comfy, aren't you, all mate? Her name's Storm Sharon. She is. Most people think she's male because she is huge, aren't you? They've spotted your size as well, Biggie. I wouldn't like to wash her too often either. She loves swimming, she hates a shower. That's made her smile, hasn't it, Storm? Hiya, Carol. Send us a photo, Sharon, I'll be able to tell you. French bulldogs are, they're nice. I grew up with a golden retriever, and that was my mum, and my dad had a old English sheepdog. But then my stepdad got us a police trained German Shepherd, which was where I first come to know the breed. But they're an amazing breed, the German Shepherds. I don't know why it's cutting out. Sharon, I know I was doing a bit of work earlier with Facebook and it was cutting out then, so hopefully it does come back. Higher leads. Right. Let me show this picture again. Oh, there's lots of comments. So yeah, there's some trance music, anything with a high vibration keeps the spirits positive that are around. So if anyone does try connecting with spirits, whatever at home, your worst type of music would be heavy metal, I guess. Followed by anything that's kind of would be classed as depressing, maybe love songs and things like that with a slow beat. Anything with a higher beat raises the energy of spirit. It raises the vibration. What's that, Sean? Hand is on your shoulder. He's quite tall and slim. I don't know how long you've been on for, Sean. At the minute, what time is it here? 11:30. I'll draw whatever spirit comes closest to me. Spirit seem to decide in what order they're going to come through, or whether there's one more important. Let me show the last one again. They should be, as they're typically recognised by people that are watching the lives, they should be recognised, but I do feel this is a grandmother to someone. I would actually pick up that they may have had some sort of... I'm being told this more from my guides, not from the spirit, but they would have had an ability themselves. Okay, whether that was just instinct or not, I'm unsure, but they would have had some sort of ability themselves to be guided by spirit anyway. I believe a granddaughter might be watching to do with this lady, and as if they want to let the mother know that they're fine. The one with the glasses looks like your grandfather. Helen, send us a message if possible with a photo, and I'll try and connect afterwards, and I will know whether it is for you or another. Right on this, and then let's see where spirit want me to go next. I will post these afterwards as well. Right. Let's go again then and see what spirit wants to come close for you. change that before it starts throwing on Facebook, tell me off. There we go. This one's drawn. The spirit's drawn a lot quicker. Please, if you do recognise, if mentioned on here or drop us a message, photo. Please, you might have noticed each spirit seems to come forward and draw in a completely different manner or style. Don't know if it helps, but Brian's just dropped to me. That could be person, it could be who it was meant to be for. I really don't know. Or it could be the next spirit that's lining up, but the name Brian has just been dropped. edge on. We've already looked online. Let me show you the 3 that we've done so far. Right. There's the first. Someone recognises and wants to message and try and send a photo. Second. It won't be him then if he's not in spirit. That was the third. Right. To another. If any of you would like me to try and connect with a loved one for you to draw, but tell you what, let's try a different name. Put the name of the person you want. Let's see whether I can bring them through that way. It's something new. It's not what I've tried before. But let me see then whether a spirit will pick on to a name and actually come through as that person. I've not tried it this way around before. Like I said, I feel very fortunate. I've probably been doing this for not quite 3 weeks yet. It's a new skill that I've kind of developing still as a medium, but I have been bringing them through in readings as well for people. Surprisingly, with a complete success rate so far. So in readings, when I have brought one through, they have been recognised by the person I'm reading for. Right, let me look at these names and let's try and get spirit to choose onto one. Let me look back at this list. It'll pick onto one of them. Right. Then. Cool. It's completely different to any spirits come through before. It's a draw. That's what I said, it's completely different to how spirits come through before. So I'll move the camera and I can make it look a bit better. Folks, this one actually started more at the shoulders and the chest than they did the head, which is completely different to normal. Some sort of badge.
I was going to say, is that like a badge or
There's some sort of badge or
a pocket?
either a badge or a pocket, I'm not sure which it is. Let me have a look here. What info, Natalie? There's a lot of comments, so I'm just trying to work it out. Someone that's watching, Natalie, let the spirit come close. And they draw. It's not like me doing a reading where then they stay with information. Okay, I can tune back in afterwards and then get the information and pass it on. If you send me a photo, then I will be able to tell from Messenger afterwards. Like the ones that I've already drawn have now stepped back. So there's... but I can call them close again. Okay? At the end, then they know there's others that are waiting to be drawn. Which one, Charmaine? The last one that I just drew? Caroline. Sorry, there's that many comments. I'm trying to go back up. I will look at the all the messages afterwards and then reply to any that have been sent. I know the portraits that I have been drawing since I started doing this about 3 weeks ago, and I can't draw. The portraits that I have drawn so far, I think I'm only with 3 that haven't been recognised ever. Actually, I can pull the ones that haven't been recognised back out. Well, there's quite a few of you watching, but there's only 3 that haven't. Have I separated them? That was one. That's one from the past that's not been recognised. Out of about 50, 60 of them now, there's only 3 that haven't been recognised. Yeah, the dogs I swapped. There's a little doggy there now. We've got a few dogs. Right. I'm really intrigued by the last one because it's so different to anything else that's been drawn. I do feel it's a great grandfather to someone. I don't feel it's a grandfather. I think it's a... Right, let's go one more. I've got someone close, so I'm not going to hazard it. I'm just going to go with the spirit that is close. start with. I want to speed up so they can get more through, which is why they're not doing the detail. If you recognise, please just drop me a message. I always give 3 messages out. As soon as they're recognised, I do try and tune back in and pass 3 messages to families or the loved ones that they're connected with. Not always. Typically, this is 9 times out of 10, as I'm drawing, the spirit steps close, I step back, and I get very little information. The best way for me to draw, especially when they're drawing that quick, is me stepping out, sorry, let me turn that so you can see, is me stepping back completely, so effectively I'm in the process of channeling. They draw themselves, not me drawing them. So it's not like I see them then start drawing. I let a spirit come close, share my energy, and pretty much draw themselves. Okay, so as I'm doing that, and the speed that they're coming through to draw, I don't get a chance really to ask anything. As I'm in the process of it, they're literally drawing, then they step back out. Okay, once recognised, then I call them in close and would do what's more known as more what I do every day for work, which is a reading. They know that they can come and share my energy, so they effectively step into me as a form of like possession, but it's under control, so I don't leave my body, I step back. So effectively they're using my arms, they're using my arm, they're using pretty much from about here, chest up, and step in with their energy in order to draw. So I share my energy, which can tire very quickly. So if I'm getting information at the same time, they know they're going to wear me out a lot quicker, because then they're using double communication skills, not just drawing through me, but they're also passing information. Plus, if I stay at the forefront of my mind, which would be where the information comes in for readings here, then they're not using my mind and my arm, etc., for drawing. Okay. But any sensitives on here at the time while I'm drawing are likely to get information from the spirit the moment that I step back, because spirit likes sharing energies. Can you show the last one again? Of course, Jane. It is like automatic writing. Occasionally automatic writing come through. My partner's far better at automatic writing than I am. I don't do automatic writing with a pencil. I do automatic writing more through my phone, and spirit will come close and text. So like messenger readings, if I'm doing that and I let the spirit very close, they pretty much will use my fingers and message automatically off, and then I have to read it back. So it's like a modern form of automatic writing, but I do that as well through messenger readings. You would be able to, the glow around me and my aura would probably change the moment each spirit steps in. So the energy around me completely changes for each spirit. So as I'm working anyway, in general, my aura does very much change. It can come to almost, I guess, a foot or more around me. From the higher levels, it depends what I'm doing. If I'm channeling from above, then my aura will change a lot that way. If spirit's stepping close, then it'll be sort of this sort of height that you generally see the change. I know when I do that, spirit, do not let go anywhere near my legs or waist, sort of waist down, so that I'm continuing to be grounded myself, so that they can leave. I can still basically push them out when I need to. A lot of mediums with channeling or trance, etc., will completely step out of themselves so that their spirit is completely separate. I don't do that so that I can keep an element of control. I know I've got a protection team of spirit guides, etc., around me, which is what I use my spirit guides for, but I've been told not to step any further out than I already do. So even if I do get, when my voice changes, etc., in readings, I share my energy rather than vacating sort of my body, so to speak. But in my honest opinion, you can split your spirit anyway to be in two places at once you've developed that, because I can remote view as well. So I know spirit can do that and kind of be in two places at the same time as well. If I can do it and still in human form, then spirit definitely can. So I'm just answering questions as I go back through. If it looks like your cousin Jane, send us a photo and I will be able to clarify from that. One of these must be called John, because I have had John been given to me prior to me even starting drawing, before I came online tonight, and a few people have mentioned the name John. If you wanted a reading, just send us a message, please, Alex, and I can come back to you after I finish this. It's not scary. Worse to do any communication is having no fear. If you have no fear and your vibration's high enough, nothing negative or anything can come anywhere near. Most negative things will avoid me entirely. I do clearances and things as well, so they'd be more frightened of me than I would be of them. So any negative energies pretty much will vacate or keep very, very far away from me. What time is it now?
12:10.
I've got to draw one more because I have had a lady that has been around me that I've been trying to coax closer. Okay, and it's definitely a grandmother. So I will draw her as well. First one. I can't remember which was the first. I'll show you them all again. I can't remember what order they're drawn in now. I think that was the first. That was definitely the last one I've just drawn. I do believe this one's a dad for a daughter. Okay. This is the one that really confused me because I've never had one draw like that before, and I do feel it's a great grandfather. Okay. As if there might even be a black and white photo, or not a modern colour, put it that way, of them. I would have said it's some sort of uniform or something because they've put an emblem on it. Right, let me sharpen this. So I've been trying to change the pencil though, so let me change the pencil like they're asking. Right, let me bring this lady through. She's been around since I started the live, so let me draw the lady that's by me now. It's definitely a grandmother. Ooh, come close. Excuse me. I believe she's just given away to someone else now, though, with her energy. Let someone else come through. this definitely isn't the one that I started off with the energy. So they switched to step back in order to let this one come through. I do believe it's female opposed to male, but I could be wrong. I do believe it's female. Now I am being told it is female, okay. Some of these are actually clearer once I put them up as photos rather than online like this, because it's hard to try and get the light right. Okay. Julie, if you've got a photo, please send me the photo. Okay. Would you have also worn glasses sometimes, Julie? Because this spirit couldn't decide whether to draw glasses or not. Julie, would you have sometimes worn glasses? Okay. Send us the picture, because I've been drawn straight to you, and I've just glanced straight up the list. My finger stopped me straight at yours, which is more of a sure sign from spirit that they were leading me in a direction. Okay. And Julie, were you also very close to your nan? She would have had curly hair, but a lot more wild. Why not? Okay. Anyone that thinks they do recognise any of the spirits, let me recap. Just put that. It's easier for me once I've had a break and then go back to the photos. The spirits do come close to me one at a time. While I'm doing it like this, I've probably got to my right. If I put a number on it, maybe just under 100 spirits that were around trying to come through for these drawings. They're telling me there's probably around about 40 of you online. 35, okay, not far off, but there's around about 100 spirits to do with that. Earlier there were almost 200 near me, so I don't know how many viewers there were earlier. But typically, as people go offline, the spirits do drift away. Which is the other reason, once the spirits step back out, it's safer for me not to try and get information at this point and draw them in one at a time once they're sort of recognised. So if I'm trying to recognise one, I can work just with that spirit, and they generally lead me through the messages to lead me in the right direction. Even when other mediums, I guess, do online reading, it's one spirit at a time for that reading, like I'm doing now with the drawing, but for one message, so they can control the others. Once they're drawing and they don't really do the form of possession, they're getting information they're listening to. So as this, I do have to keep the others back, which I'd love to be able to tell you more information as each one I'm drawing. But like I said, one, I've only been doing it for about 3 weeks now, so as I progress further on, I might be able to be doing more where I'm saying, this is Patricia, this is John, this is Jack, etc. But I am having to sit back and kind of consciously make the decision to sit back and not keep popping back forward. So hopefully that's something I can do more as go on further. But I really am enjoying drawing spirit portraits for people. So like I said, in readings, when it's one-to-one with me reading to someone else, I can bring the spirit through and continue to talk. But then I'm kept safe. Even my spirit team that are around me, they've got to obviously keep me safe, and they're dealing with more spirits than I normally would in a reading. Anyone that does recognise, let me re-show them anyway. There's the last one. Plus also, so in round about an hour, there's 3. I've done 6, so that's 6 different energy changes with me. When I first started, I probably had 2 coming through in an hour. So really have speeded up the process. It still surprises me the different styles that each of the spirit come through to start drawing. I will go offline in a minute and go through the messages. Has anyone got any questions they wanted to ask or anything? Either with regard to development, how mediumship works, or anything like that. I don't mind answering a few questions before I go offline. If you send me a message on Messenger, Julie, then once you've sent the first message, it should let you send me a photo. If not, let me reply to you, and once I've sent you a reply, then you should be able to send it. Okay, my certificates, I've got some that are from the Reiki that I've done qualifications for Reiki. Okay, I've done demonology, and that's through, what company is that? Para Learning. Then I've got Centre of Excellence. Some of them are my partners on here as well. But I've got mediumship diploma, shamanic healing, moonology, scrying, dowsing, channeling, meditation teaching, psychic development, and my partners Reiki as well, angel healing therapy, chakra and aura healing, crystal healing, and crystal healing practitioners. I enjoy doing development and progressing. I never think to stop with what I've got. I always try to learn more and more and do more. And each course I do, I learn something different. I've got a few others in the pipeline that I am doing, and other skills I'm not qualified in, but I do. Right, let me go down the list of questions. Okay, no worries, I'll look at the pictures, Alicia. What do spirit guides look like? Everyone's spirit guides will look different, and spirit guides, okay, there's different beliefs, but people will have spirit guides and guardian angels, okay? So they can all look different. Everyone's got spirit guides, everyone's got guardian angels. Different people have different beliefs. Spirit guides, some people would say that you're born with your spirit guides and they're with you for the whole of your life. I got a slightly different belief to that, and I think that you can appoint spirit guides yourself. Some spirit guides come and go and they can change. So everyone's spirit guides can change. It's like mine that I'd said that looks after me protection wise was a dog I knew in my lifetime, and I asked her to keep me safe and be head of, like, my gatekeeper to keep me safe, which is a German Shepherd, not even a human spirit. So that everyone's spirit guides can look or would look different, and they can change throughout a lifetime. That's what I've done here. One sec. Charmaine, yes, you can. You can either speak to me on here or you can send me a private message and I'm more to help. Last but one. Sean, that one, if you're not 100% sure, send me a message and I'll be able to rule it out or rule it in and connect you with them. Okay, this one they did draw very, very quick, so some of the detail I know isn't in there at the speed that I draw others. So they have drawn quickly in order to let others through. Oh, come on, messenger. An angel healing. Jen, send us a message and I'll be able to help you. I don't know what's just happened. Sensitive. Anyone that becomes a medium would have been a sensitive. Okay. Anyone that can sense a spirit could become a medium. Okay. Depends, each person that's a sensitive might develop different skills, but if you're sensitive, then you're sensitive to spirit. Yeah, I'll help anyone to only try and develop their skills. It's difficult to find someone that will. When I started developing, not as many people as you think could offer to help, or they tell you they'll help, but only to a certain point, and then they don't necessarily like progressing further. I'm more than happy to try and help anyone the best way I can. Historically, there would have probably been a greater proportion of people in the population of the world that would have been able to do what I do, and less that couldn't. And now it's gone round the other end of the scale, that there's less that can and more than can't. But it seems to be an awakening time at the minute, where more and more people are getting more and more skills. And empath is more of a psychic ability rather than a mediumship ability. Empath is someone that can pick up the emotion of others and get feelings of others. Okay? That's something that you can pick up by you merging with someone else's energies in order to pick up that information. Okay? A step further then is mediumship, which you're not just merging with energies of living people, you're merging with energies of the deceased. Okay? So an empath can pick up and feel a lot to do with other people that are around them. And not just people, it can be objects as well, that you might have a feeling about on objects. Okay? And that's an empath ability. I wouldn't be able to tell you how many guides you've got at the minute, Bernadette. It can vary depending on how many guides that come through for a reading, whether I'd be able to tell you that. But typically I don't work with guides where my information comes from. I work typically mediumship, whether I'm using divination tools or not. It is the spirits, past loved ones, that generally come and talk to me rather than the guides. Guides typically will talk to the individual, not necessarily talk to the people they're guiding, but will provide information subconsciously to them. Guides, I've no doubt that I'll probably be able to draw guides for people, but with regard to communication, if your guides wanted to pass something to me, they'd probably communicate through my guides, which is how that information would come around rather than talk to me directly. I saw a man who was dark and had horns. Might sound silly to some, usually my visions are spirits and are white. This figure, come on, open. It's frightening me. Okay, depending on how far you've progressed, even positive spirits can change their appearance in order to give you a fear, to try and get you to overcome your fear. Okay, because the best way of protecting yourself is to have no fear. So once you've seen negative things, like I will clear negative energies and entities from people or from homes, I can only do that by not having fear. So spirit, as a kind of test, when you are starting to develop, will give you certain tests to try and make you fear so you can step back. Don't get me wrong, I have had times in the past where I have had, when I was developing, that did frighten me, of dark energies coming in while I was sleeping and all sorts. But nowadays the vibration's so high that they'll more avoid me than anything else. So if you can raise your vibration enough, no negative can come near you anyway in the first place. But I don't think you're silly or crazy or anything. I've seen more than I could probably explain to most people. Anything from mythology is possible. Yeah, spirit guides could be in an awful lot of forms. Pine keeps freezing as well. Pan doesn't necessarily with horns mean it's negative. There can be some positive as well. I have been places where Pan did communicate to us, didn't he? In the Taliston house. He actually spoke on behalf of all spirits of the house. He was very positive energy. So Pans aren't necessarily negative. In actual fact, my experience of them would be positive. Improving psychic skills, practice, finding exercises to do. Using your skills with friends and things like that, perhaps even holding their jewellery or... Zena cards, which you can get a friend to turn the Zena cards over. They've got different symbols on. There's probably five of each symbol. Used to do it a while ago, and get someone to pick a card over there, looking at it, and you say whether it's the triangle, the waves, the whatever symbol you get in your mind. And the more you practice that, the more ability you'll have, because you're kind of then looking through their eyes rather than your eyes. But the other one would be the Centre of Excellence, the psychic development. Okay, that could actually aid you because it's got exercise and things in it. But if you get a Centre of Excellence course, always look for the discount code first. Never pay full price. They'll advertise £100 and something. You could probably pick up for about 35 to 40 quidish. Okay, not all horns are demons. I was going to say, just think back to even Narnia or something like that. With the fawn's that's got horns, that's not necessarily evil. There's a lot of nature spirits and things out there that we can't see, or most people can't see with their own eyes. Because even no matter how hard you see, seeing isn't believing. If you believe, then you're more likely to see. Which is the likes of all sorts of nature spirits. I've been asked by a medium if I'm psychic. She tapped me on the shoulder at a public psychic night. I do sense things. She should have been able to tell whether you did have the ability first before asking you. And being normally in readings, I'll tell them first if they've got an ability. 50% of those probably don't even know they've got the ability before it's even said. Unless the memory of the conversation is slightly wrong, because they'd normally say you've got an ability. But I do think anyone can actually become a medium, and anyone can be psychic. You've just got to, but that is a difference of opinion to a lot. But I do believe anyone could become a medium, anyone could be, and everyone is psychic. You can think of the amount of times that people have probably avoided trouble themselves, and that will be down to a psychic ability. Or manage to know there's an accident or avoid a route, and from like driving wise, go home a different way, and then you find out there was an accident on that road. That will be something that's told you to do it that way. I'm worried now, how do I tell if there's a negative or a dark energy around me? Okay, your best bet's having no fear and believe that everything is positive. Call only pot to say that you only want positive spirits around you, okay, and only project love and light. No negative will come into anything that's love. They will avoid it in its entirety. So as long as you can, if you're already communicating and things could be negative around, literally open your arms and just I'm only communicating with love and light. I don't want anything else negative around me. They should listen, and they won't want love and light around. Okay, 9 times out of 10, if not more than that, the energies that people are around people and they're worried about will be you and spirits. It's very, very seldom that there would be a negative energy, and a negative energy can only if you invite it in close can it actually do anything. It needs an invitation in order to come close to you, or in order to impact you. And that's where only people really get problems. Say if there was something negative that was bothering the children, it's not going to hurt them because it can't. But the children get a fear. They see it. The parent says, "Leave my children alone. Come and get me." Well, that's the equivalent of an invite. So always be aware not to invite. I would say that they're better than. When I was developing more, not many mediums would particularly help me. I did go to circles and things like that, but the online Centre of Excellence mediumship, you can work at your own pace. You can do the exercises as many times as you want. My experience generally with mediums, where once you've got to a certain point, they don't seem to want to help develop you further, or you get more complex questions, they don't want to answer it in general. That's generally speaking. There are others that would help, like I will help anyone, but it wasn't the experience that I had when I was developing, that people or mediums, they'd say they'd help. I'd often inquire, they'd tune in, realise I've got a skill, and then they didn't want to help any further. They seem to want to repeatedly train the same ones that maybe were struggling. If you're developing fast, then I just said you can often get your messages direct from spirit, and they will lead you in a path to help you develop. If you wanted to send me a message, I'm more than happy to try and let you know on what areas you should concentrate on and what area to progress on. I do train, or would quite happily develop people, and there are quite a few that I have aided in their development, but a large portion of it, you do need the time and effort that you put in yourself. So if you're only going to a mediumship class, you're not really developing on your own, and a lot of them will tell you only practice in the likes of a spiritual church, don't do it at home, do this, that, the other. It depends on what your beliefs are. My beliefs are very much different to the spiritualist church, and probably to a lot of other mediums. My beliefs have come from Spirit Direct and the way I progressed. So everyone's entitled to their own beliefs. Yeah, and I will help anyone with development if they've got any questions, or try and point them in the right direction. It really does depend on what teacher that you've found. Just make sure it's not one that wants to restrict you and hold you back, really, and just wants to keep repeat income or anything from that. And I'm not meaning that in a negative way. There's lots there that will train you properly and will help you, but then there are a lot that, once you get to a certain ability, either won't want anything to do with you, or will tell you you're doing it wrong. Everyone works in different ways, and everyone can develop skills in a different way. So I'm open to absolutely anything. My beliefs could change from one day to another depending on what I've seen, so I try and keep an open mind. That is true. Salapanto, sage, etc. They can help, but do remember things like that can also bring in positive spirits, so you might end up with more activity, and you've got to have no fear. So Palo Santo, sage, etc. Positive spirits, family spirits, deceased spirits, love that. So you're not going to disperse those. So if whatever you were experiencing before was a family spirit and not negative, you could increase activity by doing or burning the sage, etc. So just be aware positive spirits do like that, so you can call in more. But yes, that is right, it will get rid of negative spirits. But if you've done that and then you're starting to experience more, it means that you're giving energy to your positive spirits that are around. The best way of raising vibrations are crystals. If you use crystals and the vibration's so high in a home or whatever that's around by using high vibrational crystals, no negative will come anywhere near anyway. They won't like it. You won't always know what who the spirit is that you see, but it's trust and have no fear. It's like, for instance, while I was started tonight, and once it reached perhaps 30 people that are online, I'd got to my right in excess of 100 spirits. It's not my place to know exactly which spirit is. I just trust that my protection team wouldn't have even let them into my home if they weren't meant to be here. They definitely wouldn't let them in my home if they were negative, and then they come up one at a time. They know if they'd have all rushed me, they'd have been out, and my spirit guides would have looked after me, so they'd have pushed them out. So I didn't need to know which spirit each of those were. Yeah, I could see all the spirit energies to my right, so you don't need to worry whether you recognise the spirits or not. Just have no fear and know that they're going to be positive if they're near you. And then if you accept the communication off, and they'll start talking prior to giving you any information. So just accept what they're giving, and ultimately it will lead round to who they are. Very helpful. How do you know how the information you get is psychical mediumship? Okay. I use both, but I let spirit communicate with me in whatever way they want. So spirit will communicate to me through mediumship ability. If I'm reading a person for the purpose of a reading, trying to tell them about the future, a lot of what could come up then would be psychic that I'd be picking up on. But if I'm talking to a deceased loved one of someone, then that information definitely isn't psychic, that will be mediumship. So it's whether you're reading the person's energy or whether you're taking the information from spirit. But during reading, I will start normally by psychic, saying the energy I'm picking up about you is X, Y, Z. But then my spirit will step forward and give me confirmation and say, because da 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 from the past, which then is more evidence. So that's then coming from mediumship. So I will use both. Any medium is naturally psychic, but it doesn't mean every psychic is a medium. But anyone that's got mediumship abilities is also psychic. Okay, initially as you start to develop, you may need to close your eyes in order to see images. I can get shown them as well now when my eyes are open. But when your eyes are closed, then you're concentrating on here, which is where your third eye is. So images might become more clear where your eyes are shut, which is why you're seeing it then. It's learning to be able to see still with the third eye while your eyes are open. Selenite crystals are good. They can also charge other crystals and cleanse other crystals. Hi, Elisa. It is right, it is like a bit like a jigsaw. The more you do it, the more spirit will give you the same symbol no matter what spirit's coming to visit you. For instance, birthdays. If there's a female's birthday coming up, spirit will show me flowers and hand the flowers to someone, which means a female's birthday is coming up or just been. For a male's birthday, they'll show me a balloon. So things like that, then they are repeat symbols, which is why when you're developing, it's always good to have some sort of book or journal that you can write in, so that then you can recognise the things multiple times and start using them to your advantage. Spirit will work in whatever way you want them to work in. But anyway, I'm going to log off now to go and look at these messages that have come through and match up the spirit portraits to you viewers. But all of you have a good night. Thank you for watching. Love to you all. Take care. Bye-bye.